This is a poem, well, visually, this is a poem. It's deconstructed Pacific paintings. Reconnected in an unknowable, unconscious rhythm, a data set. A bandwidth. A frequency modulation where internal and external collide. Energy, information, consciousness, nature. I called this work Ocean in the Drop. It's a phrase that a teacher keeps mentioning in his lecture sermons. A guy called Prem Rawat. He has a popular global platform called Words of Peace. He quotes an ancient Indian poet, a rebel poet of the era, called Kabir. And Kabir wrote ecstatic poetry about the beloved, as they did back then, and the guest and the visitor. And these are all terms for higher consciousness, for Christ, for God. Ocean in the Drop, in a modern sense, is a way of saying fractal holography. That is to say, my branching veins in my body are not dissimilar to branching tree branches to the sun, or mycelium in the living soil, or kelp in the living blood of the planet. Fractal means we are a pattern enmeshed in a self-similar pattern. For me, art is a search to reconcile science and faith. It is truth-seeking. It is adaptation and play. I do wrestle with myself. I do fall apart. I do put myself back together again. Or something puts me together again. This is my work. It is chaotic. It is destructive. It is disturbing. It does not make sense. And yet more is revealed. Revelation, or in Greek, apocalypse. The veils fall, more is revealed. Art is awareness of that process. We are the quantum mind. And it is not my mind. It is not your mind. It is not the poem. It is not the painting. We are talking about a field of living information that we are enmeshed in. This is what mystics, artists, musicians know. We are just the filament of receiving the energy, the electricity. We are just a wire. We are just a node in a much vaster complex of life, lifing, being, awareness, being aware of itself. And this is the frontier. So my friend sent me a poem this morning, not her poem, but our poem. And I'll read it to you now in context of this painting, which I am going to be showing at Nelson Suter Gallery via Julie Catchpole, thank you Julie, in an exciting exhibition all through this summer called, I think it's called Disruptive Repetition, about abstraction and repetition. And there are many artists in the show, including me, and this work is part of it. So this poem is called Climb into Love. What is to love? It's not what if love is not to fall, but to climb. What if love is not to sink into the abyss, but to ascend to new heights? What if love is to see the world in a different light? The same one, only, but now more beautiful than it ever was, including scars and lamentations, trial and tribulation. You're not living unless you face the shadow and the beast in yourself and the world. This is one of my works from the Old Brain series, which began as a tribute to Len Lye's Kinetics and Pacifica art as evolutionary impulse in the human animal, mythic mind. I could talk and make. This is actually a shaft of a golf club, just a regular op-shop golf club, but it broke into this small, archaic, rusty-nailed cruciform, poking its head, thresholding, transfiguring, ascending to the upper level. And it centralizes, it pulls the silver cord of the individual above the chaos, above the churn. So my idea of transcendence includes the churn. That is the ecstasy, I think Kabir talks about. It's the grind and groan of the goddess as we live her story and mystery. Thank you.